that I was very uncomfortable with the amount of alcohol I was drinking, and I went online and started looking for a program that might be able to help. And I found this program that was called NAD, or a NAD treatment, very unique through Sovereign Health, and it was an intravenous natural process that basically replenishes and purifies your system, and I thought that sounded really interesting. So I called the representative, Meg Higgins, and she kind of walked me through the whole process, and I was immediately interested in that. I had just had an emotional heartbreak occur. It was very devastating, and I was heartbroken. I was very depressed. The way I dealt with my depression was to drink, and that makes you more depressed, and that makes you drink more, and that makes you more depressed. And ultimately, you kind of lose yourself, and I personally was shaking at times until I had a drink. And that was very upsetting, and that was what inspired me to seek some kind of help. I liked it that it was not the same as everything else, and I liked the science behind it, as it was explained to me by Meg. Meg was really good at explaining this science, and then they have a better rate, fewer relapses, I mean a much lower percentage of relapse, and a much higher percentage of successful recovery. So taking all that together, it sounded good. And the science includes, as I understand it, regenerating a healthy brain and organs and soft tissue, positively affecting the neurotransmitters in your brain. And my therapist had actually talked to me about that before I even found this program, about the effects of alcohol on the neurotransmitters. So with each passing day of this program, and this is my last day of the intravenous, my head's gotten a lot clearer, and it's really been interesting to observe the day-by-day progress. I had no idea what to expect. They don't put a lot of pictures on the website, so you really don't know. And they have various facilities all throughout San Clemente. And so, you know, they picked me up at the airport, drove me to this house. It was nighttime, went in, and I was blown away. It's this really, really nice house. Just spacious and comfortable, well presented and appointed. Met with the house manager, who asked me a lot of questions, took down information, made me feel at home. And then you have your own room, and you start with the intravenous the next day, and they're also supporting you there. The house managers are trained to, you know, kind of walk you through things, and they cook for you, and just a really nice home-like environment, very comfortable. I was most interested in the science part and how I would feel, and it is exactly, what, 8 days since I had my last drink, and each day has been a tremendous improvement. Just how I feel, like, what's the term? You know, your state of mind. And I'm a very friendly person, and I like to laugh and joke around, and I love good conversation, and all these kinds of people skill things, or people-oriented things. And when I was in my funk, that was not me. I kind of got away from all that. So now coming in here and feeling like I'm being physically replenished, along with being in a comfortable environment, each day I feel better. I'm more myself. I'm cracking jokes. I'm laughing. I mean, we just died laughing last night at the house. The clients and myself and the house manager, we were having a wonderful conversation out on the deck. So yeah, it's really valuable. I would recommend it to anybody. Well, it has to be the nicest house. If all the houses are like that, you guys have done well. But executive house, I guess, is for, I mean, I'm not sure how they choose who goes there, but you walk in, it's a very spacious first floor, this magnificent kitchen with the big cooking island, stocked with all sorts of foods, you know, 2 refrigerator and freezers full of food, and a pantry full of food, and all these cupboards, so snacks and healthy foods and junk foods and juices and protein drinks, and I mean, if anything, you have to try to keep from eating too much and getting fat. But then they also cook breakfast and dinner, and then during the day you're at the facility where they're doing the intravenous treatment. And then if you want to cook, because I love to cook, they'll let you jump in and help or cook something. So it's a very home-like environment, very comfortable. I have an enormous room and big, wonderful bathroom and closet. I mean, everything is just really, really comfortable. And I think the environment that they create is helpful because it's peaceful, quiet, residential community, beautiful weather, outside decks where you can sit and take in the sun when you get back from your treatment, and then a good meal, nice conversation with your fellow clients, and then bedtime. I mean, it's structured, but you don't feel like you're hemmed in, you know. You don't feel like they're telling you everything to do and like that. It's more like, I don't know, being around good people while you feel the day-to-day improvement of your, you know, your thoughts and your body, you know. So we get up at usually 6:30 in the morning. We have breakfast, take showers and make our beds and get everything all cleaned up. And then we usually leave around 8 in the van. They drive up to this facility. And when I pictured it, this is important. When I pictured this whole thing, I pictured beds and white linens and hospital gowns, and it's not like that at all. You're in a room where it's reclining chairs. You each have your own. Very comfortable, and then they have, you know, Netflix on a big screen TV. You can talk to the people that you're here with, and or watch House of Cards or Breaking Bad, or, you know, a whole series. And it's a lot of laughter, a lot of people who are feeling better each day. And then across the hall they have a kitchen with every kind of snack you would ever want, including Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, for crying out loud. And it's really cool. It's very chilled out. It is intravenous, but they do a great job. It's not painful. It's just, you know, they have to put the needle in to put the solution in, and then end of the day you're usually done anywhere from 3 o'clock to perhaps 5 o'clock, and then they drive you back to the house, and you have some downtime before dinner. I like to sit out on the deck and get some sun on my face, and or talk to my fellow residents. Oh, and the residents that you live with at Executive House are the same people that you come here for the treatment. So you really develop a nice rapport with those people. They become part of your, I don't know, part of your support system. Very mutually supportive environment. I think that's one of the keys to this. Well, I like that it's natural. One thing, when I was researching rehab, a lot of places give you drugs to get you off of your drugs, and maybe it's me, but that doesn't sit right with me. And this is a natural process, and this stuff is made only in 2 places that I'm aware of: Louisiana and South Africa. And so it's a very particular. I don't know all the ingredients. I know there's niacin, and I know that there are amino acids involved, and I know that what they put into you converts to B3, and that's very significant for your regeneration. They said if you take x-rays of somebody that's abused alcohol, for instance, you could see the effects of that on the brain itself, and that's kind of freaky. And this process actually reverses that. And that was very compelling for me. That, to me, set this apart from pretty much any other rehabilitation program that I saw on the internet. I'm looking at this as a starting point, a jumping off point. And I do, since I have felt better in my mind, I've been visualizing things a lot more, just naturally, not trying to visualize, but I've had this visualization of building a new foundation for the rest of my life. And I look at this as like this big gold brick that's like the middle of the front as a part of this foundation. And I can just kind of picture it, because feeling better and feeling like I've made these physical improvements, along with the fact I really want to maintain a sober lifestyle in the future, or going forward one day at a time, I feel like this is the perfect beginning. But I don't feel like, oh, this is going to be easy. I feel more so like this is a great start, and now I have various things set up for counseling and aftercare so that I can build on this, because it's not like you just come here, do this, go back, everything's done. But it's an opportunity to say, all right, went through this process, took time out of my schedule, paid pretty decent amount of money, and don't want to squander that, so now use it as a new beginning. And I really feel strongly about that. I would give it my highest recommendation. I felt almost no symptoms of withdrawal, and that's actually supposedly, according to my patient advocate, as he's called, Guy, I was told that the average of this process is 80% fewer withdrawal symptoms than if you just try to do that cold turkey. I think that's very compelling, because actually quitting alcohol cold turkey can be very dangerous, including you could have seizures and all kinds of things that go wrong. Your blood pressure could spike, you could have a stroke, it could affect your heart. So I wanted to have what is called a safe detoxification. And this was the one I found that I felt was the safest. And now, having gone through it and felt almost no adverse effects over these numbers of days, yeah, I would recommend to my closest friend. And in fact, I am going to do that. I'm going to talk it up, because I think this program should spread all around the country instead of just being in a couple of places.